I almost forgot. This is our first Christmas episode since the Daleks' Master Plan.
Oof. It was so much better than Daleks' Master Plan.
Wasn't it, though? I don't know where they got the idea to do Christmas specials. Like, it's such a strange thing that they do. Just, between every season, we're just going to do a Christmas special. So
it would see. Now, I understand that Great Britain doesn't celebrate a Thanksgiving Day like we do in late November.
Yeah.
But considering that Doctor Who premiered in late November, you would think they would do an anniversary special on the weekend that is closest to the 23rd.
No.
No.
Only when they hit like 50 or 60.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Alex and Dad from 7th Hour Films back again with Doctor Who. Last time around we had The Parting of the Ways. What was that about?
Well, it was the second half of the Dalek story. The Daleks had kidnapped Rose, assuming that would cause the Doctor to surrender to them. But instead, he sent her in the TARDIS back to her own time, figuring that way she would be safe from whatever was going to happen. But she couldn't take that basic ending, so she and Mickey and Jackie got a tow truck and opened up the heart of the TARDIS, and she absorbed all the radiation, went back and destroyed all the Daleks, brought Jack back to life. And then, because that radiation would have killed her, the Doctor instead takes it onto himself, which causes his regeneration, and we got our first look at David Tennant.
Yep, pretty much. That's where we left off. The end of the first season and the first era of modern Doctor Who. And again, just a good, such a solid first season through and through.
Yes. So,
I'm excited to get on with the rest of it, though. On to the longer era than we've had in a while, David Tennant era. So,
now is he the longest since Tom Baker? You said it's about 5 seasons.
Well, it's 3 complete seasons, and then a year where they did some special episodes. But it was about 5 years. I don't know. It's kind of splitting hairs because I think every Doctor from here on will have about 3 seasons to themselves. I think you start splitting hairs when it comes to the episode count, but yeah. I think maybe David Tennant might have the most, but I don't know. Matt Smith is probably also up there. Yeah. So, but it's incredibly close between them all. So, but yeah, is there anything else really to say before we jump into stuff?
No. This to me, though, it's kind of confusing because if you were a fan of classic Who, you had 25, 26 episodes, which I'm assuming they did in somewhat of a repeat. But even if not, they were like only 6 months between seasons. But now you only have 13 episodes, which literally means you got either 3 or 4 repeats, or you wait after 2 months, 3 months, and then you have a 9-month wait before the next Doctor Who season comes along.
I mean, I don't know what the repeat schedule was in 2005, but I don't know when Eccleston's final episode aired, but it was sometime, obviously, in 2005, probably mid-2005, and then you had to wait a couple months for the Christmas special, which is what we're doing today, and then you had to wait a few more months for the actual season to start.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know right now, we just had our most recent season of Doctor Who, and we're basically going through the same thing. We're waiting, about 6 months now, and we're going to get the next Christmas special. And then there is some vague notion that next year we will have a new season of Shutigawa. They haven't said when, and I mean, nowadays, it's not really an issue of, repeats, because, it's on Disney Plus and BBC iPlayer and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what the gap was in 2005, so but between the end of Eccleston and the beginning with the Christmas special, we have a mini episode. Now, this was done for the Children in Need charity, just a special little episode. It is technically canon. It is all canon. It's a bit of a lower production quality. It's not on the DVDs that I have. Some people have said it is included on other DVDs, just not this one. So I found it on YouTube, so it's also a bit of a lower quality. And I went in because I remember the audio being really off. Like, they didn't really equalize the audio and everything, and sometimes it's hard to hear. So I have gone in and taken the trouble to add subtitles.
Oh.
This took me about 2 hours to do. And there are some lines where I literally had to listen like 10 times before I was like, I think that's what he said. So luckily, I think I got everything. We are watching a slightly shorter version because at the beginning there's like a recap of the last episode, basically. I cut a lot of that out and basically just kind of went for the start of the actual mini-sode. So, but it's a good one. It's one of the like 2 or 3 that are kind of necessary viewing. So we'll watch that, and then we'll watch the Christmas special. We're just going to do it all in the same video just to make things easier. So yeah. You got anything else, or should we...
I got nothing. It's very confusing. It's like when the Orville was on, and we saw the first 2 seasons, and then it was like forever before we got to see the 3rd season.
Yeah, definitely. At least with that one, I mean, that was the whole thing of like they were moving from Fox to Hulu, and they were trying to shake things up. But yeah, like this, we're definitely in that modern era now where it's like TV, how TV airs and functions has changed definitely. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right into Doctor Who Born Again.
Hello. Okay. You Chief. That's weird. So where was I? Oh, that's right.
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Now, is this the same charity that they did the EastEnders crossover with?
Might be.
Alan, what do I look like? No, don't tell me. Let's see. 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 hands. Slight weakness in the dorsal tubercle. Hair! I'm not bald! Ooh, big hair. Sideburns! I've got sideburns! Go on then, tell me. What do you think?
Who are you?
I'm the doctor.
I've seen all sorts of things. Nana Jeans, Gelf, Slovene. Oh my god, are you Slovene?
I'm not a Slovene.
He's too skinny.
Come back.
Till your hand. I said one word. Just one word, I said.
Run.
Run. Hello. Oh, we never stopped, did we?
Can you change back?
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you?
no.
Yeah. Put a pin
Do
in
you want
that.
me?
Do you want me to leave?
No, but your choice. If you want to go home. Cancel Barcelona.
No, Barcelona.
Change to London, the Powell Estate. Let's say 24th December. Consider it a Christmas present. Fish and chips, sausage and mash, beans on toast. No, Christmas, turkey. Although, having met your mother, nut loaf would be more appropriate. Is that a smile?
No.
Oh, come on. All I did was change. I didn't...
Let's go and find Captain Jack. I know what to do.
Ah, he's busy. He's got plenty to do rebuilding the Earth.
What are you doing?
Putting on a bit of speed. That's it.
You're gonna kill us!
Hold on tight. Here we go. Steve.
Alrighty. And that's it.
Okay. I mean, I was assuming it was going to be something that would... Yeah, although the only other minisode I remember seeing was the one, Night of the Doctor, so...
Oh, yeah.
I was assuming it was going to be more like the crossover event thing, but...
Nope. Couldn't afford that. On the all that money had to go to the children in need. Actually, I think if I remember right, someone said that in some of those shots... Here, I can actually go back to it a little bit. Let me see. About... right here, that is not Billy Piper. That is a cardboard cutout of Billy Piper that David Tennant is acting off of. So... couldn't get her for the whole thing, so... And it's interesting, like, I'm curious how it was filmed, because the lighting in this shot, once he starts going to the running and the one time we had to hop, the lighting is completely different from how it is in the first half, which is more like the lighting at the end of the last episode. Yeah. So... but it's more of just... It's basically just the connective tissue to get to the Christmas special, as well as the... and just getting a brief introduction to the 10th Doctor. So, but yeah, and he's had a good look at himself. He's got hair and sideburns, and really bad skin. There were 2 or 3 lines in there where I wasn't 100% sure what he said, so I just kind of filled in what I thought he said. So, especially like when he said like slight weakness in the dorsal tubercle. I don't know if he actually said that, but I think that was what he said.
Well, dorsal, D-O-R-S-A-L, but I've never heard of a tubercle.
Yeah, so. And then when he also says London, the Powell estate, and I was like, I think he says Powell. I'm going to put that in and someone will correct me in the comments. Remember, all these subtitles were done by me in 2 hours, just trying, and there were some of them.
He may have said the Palisade, but I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. But there were some of those lines, especially towards the end, where I was really listening because there's like music going on and stuff, and it's like, would you just speak up, man? They don't have the good audio equipment yet. You gotta, I don't know. But anyway, so that is our introduction, right. Our first introduction to the 10th Doctor during the charity special. So
now, how long before Christmas Invasion did this air?
I am not entirely sure. I guess I can look that up. I guess I could also look up when the last episode aired. Parting of the Ways. The Parting of the Ways aired in June. And then... Born Again was November. So about just over a month later, they had the Christmas special, which was pretty sure was released on Christmas Eve specifically, which is why they say they're going to Christmas Eve. So it is interesting that it's like, which I guess, we had this in classic Doctor Who of like companions not being sure about the Doctor's regeneration, because it is such a strange concept, and you don't really get a companion seeing 2 regenerations, Yeah. So with this, it's like, Rose is completely confused, especially after, waking up after absorbing the time vortex and all that stuff. She's all sorts of confused, and the Doctor explodes and becomes a different guy. So yeah. I guess we should
move on.
Move right along. So, give me a sec.
You seem to have a new background.
Okay. I have to reinsert the disc every time I want to load this. I don't know why.
I always wonder why the media player has a traffic cone for their icon.
I don't remember. I'm specifically using VLC, but I can't remember. I don't know. But I tend not to use like the onboard like Windows player and stuff.
Yeah. I can really hear that.
It's just the menu. Yeah. Just give it a sec. I normally do this stuff before you come in and before we record, so I didn't have it loaded up this time because I didn't know. Hey, Mickey.
Turn it off, Steve, turn it off! John, shut up!
Every time. Though, to be a little fair to Mickey, the last time he saw her, it was not a good thing going on.
Well, where is it then?
There it is. Crashing.
Merry Christmas!
What happened? Is he alright?
I don't know, he just killed over. But who is he? Where's the doctor?
That's him. Right in front of me. That's the doctor.
What do you mean that's the doctor? Doctor who?
And the other one.
Both working.
What do you mean both?
But he's got 2 hearts.
Oh, don't be stupid.
He has.
Anything else he's got to Leave him alone.
I thought I knew him, Mum. I thought me and him were. And then he goes and does this. I keep forgetting he's not human. Shut up.
Oh, and one time, the TARDIS landed in a big yellow garden full of balloons.
I'm not like that.
Oh, you so are.
Must drive you mad. Surprised you don't give up on me.
I'm surprised that
You
too.
can rely on me. I don't go changing my face.
Yeah.
Talks about your world. Yeah. A nice penny in the book. You never get there. A nice penny.
And the ominous Santa choir. No,
They're not Autons, are they?
After us.
evil Santas. Ah, well, you did that yourself.
They're after the doctor.
I can't even go shopping with you and get attacked by a brass band.
I thought it was you.
How can it be me?
Well, you went shopping, there was a ring at the door, and there it was.
No, that wasn't me.
Then who was it?
Sentient trees?
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh no. Christmas is evil. No.
What are you doing? You can't just leave him.
Tornado tree.
It's so strong.
Help me.
Oh. Good thing you had to blow up a tree setting. Santa is scared of the oncoming storm.
They've just got.
What do you need? Say it. Tell me. Painkillers. Do you need aspirin? Codeine, paracetamol. Oh, I don't know about Tibusmol. Liquid paraffin. Vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E. Easy food. Something simple. Bowl of soup. Nice bowl of soup. Soup and a sandwich. Oh, soup and a little ham sandwich.
I need you to shut up.
Oh, I guess I changed that much. See.
If there's pilot piston. Why does that happen in my dressing gown?
Oh, that's Howard. Sorry.
He keeps apples in his dressing gown.
He gets hungry.
Like the Christmas tree shaped zigzag cutout.
Jack,
Yeah.
I'm using the phone line, is that alright? Guinevere seemed to fall off the scope, but it was just a blip. Only disappeared for a few seconds. She's fine now, absolutely fine. We're getting the first pictures.
Completely fine.
Transmitted
How are
any
you?
minute now. I better get back to it.
The face of an alien life form was transmitted live tonight on BBC One.
On the 25th of December, the human race has been shown absolute proof that alien life exists.
We mean it this time. It's not a hoax. Oh. Unit.
Mr. Llewellyn, Mum.
Harry Jones, Prime Minister.
Well, yes, I know who you are. Suppose I've You seem to be talking about aliens as a matter of fact.
There's an Act of Parliament banning my autobiography.
Prime Minister.
I'm with you.
But if they're not from the surface, then they might not be from Mars itself. Maybe they're not actual Martians.
Of course not. Martians look completely different. We think the ship was in flight when they just came across.
This guy was not prepared for this.
They're moving.
I don't know. Maybe it's coming for all of us.
Oh no. It's the alien version of Queen.
The president's insisting that he takes control of the situation.
You can tell the President, and please use these exact words. He's not my boss, and he's certainly not turning this into a war.
Freaking Bush trying to take over things.
What about Torchwood? I know I'm not supposed to know about it, I realize that. Not even the United Nations knows. But if ever there was a need for Torchwood, it's now.
I can't take responsibility.
I can. See to it. Get them ready.
Aha. Now, they've mentioned Torchwood before.
Tell them this is a day of peace on planet Earth. Tell them we extend that peace to the Sycorax. And then tell them this planet is armed and we do not surrender.
And tell him, piss off.
Bugger off.
The old doctor, the proper doctor, he'd wake up. He'd save us.
You really love him, don't you?
Hashtag not my doctor.
Oh, that's very creepy.
Just standing there.
Menacingly.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may take a moment during this terrible time. It's hardly the Queen's speech. I'm afraid that's been cancelled. Did we ask about the royal family? Oh. They're on the roof. If you can hear me, Doctor, if anyone knows the Doctor, if anyone can find him, the situation has never been more desperate.
There are a lot of confused doctors out there right now.
Help us.
Now it's turning into Independence Day.
Now all we can do is run and hide, and I'm sorry. Now move.
We are definitely not opening the TARDIS hard again.
It's a helmet. They might be like us.
Or not. Like is a very loose word.
I beg of you now, show that compassion.
Or the belt.
Harriet Jones, Prime Minister.
Yes, we know who you are.
No chance you can fly this thing.
Not anymore, no.
Well, you did it before.
I know, but it's sort of been wiped out my head like it's forbidden. Try it again, I think the universe rips in half.
Better not then.
Maybe not.
So what do we do? Just sit here?
That's as good as it gets. Right.
There is a pool.
Tea. Like we're having a picnic while the world comes to an end. Very British.
Meh. Yeah, most people notice when their ship is transported.
He starts powering the TARDIS.
I address the Sycorax. According to Article 15 of the Shadow Proclamation,
Make something up.
I command you to leave this world with all the authority of the Lemin Parliament of Rexibarco Palpatorius.
A little more confidence.
Now leave this planet in peace.
It was a noble attempt.
We'll be gutted.
Your people enslaved.
Hold on, that's English.
He's talking English.
You're talking English.
I would never dirty my tongue with your primitive fire.
That's English. Schmitz.
Did you miss me?
Bring it, finally.
Mickey, hello. And Harriet Jones and people flying down north. It's like this is your life. Tea. That's all I needed. Good cup of tea. Superheated infusion of free radicals and tannin, just a thing for heating the synapses. Am I ginger?
No, you just sort of brown.
Yeah, I want to be ginger. I've never been ginger. And you, Rose Tyler, that lot of good you were, you gave up on me. Oh, that's rude. That's what man I am now, I'm rude. Rude and not ginger. Sorry, who is this? Did you win the election?
Landslide majority.
Wow.
If I might interrupt. Yes, sorry. Hello, big fella. Who exactly are you?
Well, that's the question.
I demand to know who you are. I don't know. See, that's the thing. So if I see a great big threatening button which should never ever ever be pressed, then I just want to do this. Are they dead?
We allow them to live.
Allow? You've no choice. See, that's all blood control is. Cheap bit of voodoo. Scares the pants off you, but that's as far as it goes. It's like hypnosis. You can hypnotise someone to walk like a chicken or sing like Elvis. You can't hypnotise them to death. Survival instinct's too strong.
Blood control was just one form of conquest.
Look at these people. These human beings. Consider their potential. From the day they arrive on the planet and blinking step into the sun. There is more to see than can ever be seen.
I'm sure Disney loves
More
that.
to do than... No, hold on. Sorry, that's the Lion King. But the point still stands.
Eh, it's a good song.
Am I right that the sanctified rules of combat still apply?
Stand as this world's champion.
Thank you. I've no idea who I am, but you've just summed me up. So, you accept my challenge? Or are you just a cana compel casa salva?
Dems fighting words. Come on, you remember how to sword fight? You've done it at least twice with two different bodies.
Oh, yeah, that helps. I wouldn't have thought that otherwise, thanks. And now I know what sort of man I am.
It's Luke Skywalker.
Quite by chance. I'm still within the first 15 hours of my regeneration cycle, which means I've got just enough residual cellular energy to do this.
Yeah.
Doctor!
Oh, so I'm still the doctor then?
No arguments from me!
What about the best bit? This new hand. It's a fighting hand.
Ooh.
I swear.
Very well then, thanks for that. Cheers, big fella.
Bravo! That says it all. Bravo!
Ah, not bad for a man in his gym jams. Free Arthur Dent now. What have I got in here? Sumo. That's no second chances. I'm that sort of a man.
Ooh. You did catch the Arthur Dent reference.
I forbid you to scavenge here for the rest of time. Are there many more out there? Oh, not just cigarettes. Hundreds of species. Thousands of them. And the human race is drawing attention to itself.
You did it too! Give us a tea! Fix this up!
That's all I needed. Cup of tea.
It's a message from Torchwood. They say they're ready.
Took their time.
Tell them to fire. That was murder.
That was defense. It's adapted from alien technology. A ship that fell to Earth 10 years ago.
But they were leaving.
You said yourself, Doctor. They'd go back to the stars and tell others about the Earth. I'm sorry, Doctor, but you're not here all the time. You come and go.
And I should have stopped you.
What does that make you, Doctor? Another alien threat?
Don't challenge me, Harriet Jones, because I'm a completely new man. I could bring down your government with a single word.
You're the most remarkable man I've ever met. But I don't think you're quite capable of that.
No, you're right. Not a single word. Don't you think she looks tired?
What did he say?
Oh, well, nothing really.
What did he say?
Nothing. I don't know.
Doctor! Doctor, what was that? What did he say? What did you say, Doctor? Doctor!
No, don't look back. It's cooler this way. Anyway, Christmas.
Nice scarf there, Doctor.
Meh. and work with this. Oh, he actually came to dinner this time.
You're no longer fit to be a physician.
No. Now, can we talk about other things?
Is it true you're unfit for office?
Look, there is nothing wrong with my health. I don't know where these stories are coming from. And a vote of no confidence is completely unjustified.
Are you going to resign?
It's been like 6 hours. It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Saturnalia miracle.
What are they? Meteors?
It's the spaceship breaking up in the atmosphere. This isn't snow, it's ash.
Okay, not so beautiful.
Yeah, not such a miracle.
This is a brand new planet Earth. No denying the existence of aliens now, everyone saw it. Everything's new.
Don't discount them yet.
On your own?
Why don't you want to come?
Well, yeah.
Do you though?
Yeah.
Well, I just thought, because I changed.
Yeah, I thought because you changed, you might not want me anymore.
Oh, I'd love you to come.
Okay.
You're never gonna stay, are you?
Give
Just so much
up.
out there.
And it is gonna be fantastic.
So, where are we gonna go first?
That way. No, hold on. That way.
That way. Yeah, that way.
Alrighty. Merry Christmas.
The Arthur Dent revelation from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. The fact that he quoted the Lion King. I mean, just, again, the writer or writers really have upped their game in New Who.
Yeah.
You know, there were some great stories. There's outstanding stories in Classic Who. But the level of writing has been kicked up a notch. Now, I understand it's the difference between 86 when it went off?
89, I think.
89, right. So, you know, there's a 15-year difference in between. But still, again, it's on an entirely different level because they're not working in the half-hour format, not having a 4-episode, get the whole story in, and if it doesn't fit, you pad it or cut it.
Well,
yeah. They now have a, I guess, 45, 50-minute, basically what we would call a 1-hour dramatic episode. And it works better. They're able to do whatever they need to do to bring it up to this level. So
yeah, so yeah, it's all nice and good. It probably also helps having recurring characters too. I mean, aside from the Sycorax, there weren't many new characters. I mean, there was the people that ended up dying anyway, but you know, keeping around Mickey and Jackie and Harriet Jones, it all just sort of works out, definitely. So
now they've revealed that there is in fact a Torchwood, and the Doctor apparently doesn't, although he may not know it's exactly called Torchwood, he knows that Earth has somehow developed a defense since the last time he was here, and he doesn't like it. Now, that's somewhat understandable in that he said, you know, you murdered these people, and she said, I'm sorry, but they murdered people right in front of me, and we need to send a message that you're not going to be here all the time. So by destroying the Sycorax ship, it sends a message, don't mess with us or you will be destroyed.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing of, with Torchwood, the main thing he objects to is killing them after they had already surrendered and were leaving. Like, I don't think he fully objects to the Earth being able to defend itself. But even still, he doesn't even fully understand. He doesn't know Torchwood at all. All he knows is Harriet Jones has some sort of technology that turns London into the Death Star and can shoot it up. So,
by the way, that ending was very similar to the first appearance of the Silurians. After the Doctor had told them they could go on and live in peace, then they get bombed out of existence by UNIT.
Yeah, I definitely thought of that too, where it's like, you know, in a sense, like, if you think about it, it's like it probably would be something the Brigadier would have done. Now, granted, I guess you could say the Brigadier maybe went through a character arc throughout classic Doctor Who, becoming more trusting of the Doctor and everything, whereas that was really early on with a third Doctor and the Brigadier. So, but yeah, it's interesting going from, this cheery, happy ending, he did it, he's back, the Doctor is him again and everything, and now, Harriet Jones is maybe committed intergalactic war crimes, so, and even just the fact that, just the whole, I could end your whole government with a single word. No, wait, it should be 6. And he just goes over there and says that, and she's just immediately freaking out. It is an interesting detail that it's like 6 hours later, and everyone apparently is questioning her government and if she's fit for this. Yeah. So, but still, it's just a really interesting ending to it.
If only the media would use that kind of pressure on modern day politicians.
Yeah. I mean, well, they do, just not all the modern politicians.
I mean, how some of our politicians here in the United States get away with the crap that they're saying. Now, I understand that you can have differences of opinion on policies, but when you have a candidate or candidates who are literally spouting nonsense, and the mainstream media doesn't say, "Are you out of your frickin' mind?"
Nah.
What you're saying has been disproven. And then the politicians say, "How dare you challenge me on that?" Because it has been disproven, you moron. You have no place in politics because you are lying. One of them even admitted, "Oh, I make up these stories because I'm trying to get the media to focus on what really matters." No, what matters is you're a lying moron and you don't deserve to be in public office.
No. See, you don't understand. Clearly they're not lying, because I mean, it's a close race. It's like 50-50 right now in terms of the polls. Like, it's just, how could he be lying if it's that close? Anyway,
sorry,
we'll move on.
Political rant.
Yeah. So it's the one thing, I give a lot of crap to the British, mainly just for comedic effect. It is the one thing where it's like, well, especially now, they've gotten things kind of figured out a bit more over there. So, whereas we are on the edge of our seat, not only for this coming November, but maybe even after that, depending on the result. It's not a shoe-in either way. So, anyhow, back to Christmas. See, this is the thing. This is the thing, is once you get to Christmas, then the politics come up. Nobody wants to hear about the politics at Christmas, but here we are. It's just what happens. So, next thing we'll be talking about football. I don't know. Do you think they have football matches on Christmas Day in the UK, like we have our American football matches?
Possibly. I don't know when the European League. And again, I know there's an entire British league, and then there's European league. I don't know if there's specific countries, but I would imagine that there is some kind of sports on Christmas. But again, not having been there for 50 years, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so I remember one time I did a live stream on like the 27th of December. I think that was my stream where I was going over being on YouTube for 10 years. This was about 2 or 3 years ago now. But I was just like playing Mario Kart and like watching some old videos. And I was like, I don't know how many people are, here, watching this, why you've chosen to watch me 2 days after Christmas, But there was someone who was like, no, actually, this is really nice because I can watch your live stream instead of listening to all of my uncles argue how many children Boris Johnson has. And I was like, well, hey, I'm happy to help. So,
Boris Johnson.
Anyway, so, but now it's definitely, at the very least, a tradition in the UK that Christmas comes with Doctor Who. And we went off of that for a little while. During the 13th Doctor's era, they stopped doing Christmas specials and instead did New Year's Day specials. They were not very popular. Everyone hated it. And as soon as Russell T Davies came back, they were like, nope, we're doing Christmas again. And so now everyone is happy to have their Doctor Who Christmas episode back.
Now, off the subject there for a second. Lethbridge Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he appeared as an older man, a retired man, in the 7th Doctor.
Yes.
Is he still alive in 2005?
Yes. I think the actor dies around 2010, 2011. Okay. So the character is still alive, but he's not featured in modern Doctor Who, unfortunately. So,
all right, I was just wondering because you've got Unit there, and again, just a cameo of Lethbridge Stewart says, "Let the Doctor handle it" or something. That would have been nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing of this is the second time we've had Unit because we had them in the Slovene episodes too. But they're not really focused on. I mean, it's kind of like the Autons, where it's like, yeah, they're the Autons, but they don't really talk about it. They're just kind of there. So it is kind of an interesting thing. Like it's more focused on Harriet Jones than Unit at large. So I do like that. Every time when we originally saw her, she would always say, Harriet Jones, MP for Flydale North, because nobody knew who she was, because she's the MP of Flydale North. Nobody cares about that, so she has to do that. I love that is just carried over, and it's just a habit now, that she still says Harriet Jones Prime Minister. And it's like, well, yes, we know who you are, So, I also do like the moment where, it's like, oh, well, the President of America called, and, he wants to take control of this operation. She's like, no, I'm not turning this into a war and stuff. And I'm just saying, like, man, what an episode that could have been if we had George Bush in. We'd probably have to have a fictional president, but that would have been interesting to see.
Yeah. Now, have they ever actually mentioned any of the modern politicians since 1963? I know you told me at one point, don't they meet Winston Churchill?
Yeah, I don't think they've... In terms of American politicians, they don't reference them much, if at all. And I don't think they even reference their own prime ministers. Yeah. So,
well, they reference the Queen there, and the royal family, but
it's kind of hard to make a fake queen for the show. So, but yeah, they did reference the royal family, who apparently is also blood type A. So they were on the roof as well. Which that was kind of an unfortunate time to ask that. It's like, have we asked about the royal family? It's like, they're on the roof. Okay, as I was saying, it's just like, you're on TV. Maybe don't. I guess everyone's on the roof, so how much more fear can you stoke? So,
interesting design. I was momentarily, when he was starting to take off the helmet, I thought, I'm wondering if this is going to look like the Draconians, because they had that sort of reptilian skull helmet.
Yeah.
But this is a completely new design, and again, allowed the actor inside to have a great deal of facial expressions aside from his voice.
Yeah, the Sycorax are a very interesting design.
Very similar to a film called Enemy Mine with Dennis Quaid and Louis Gossett Jr. About two warring pilots in a big space battle. They both crash land on the same planet and realize that they're going to have to learn how to live together and help each other if they're going to survive the hostile planet.
Yeah.
Very good film, by the way. But the facial structure of the Sycorax was very similar to what Louis Gossett wore.
Yeah. It's certainly a better design than the Slovene themselves. It's as interesting as the Slovene were, but it is nice they're just these sort of humanoid, and they have their faces covered, but you can still see their eyes and their mouth movements and everything. So it's also interesting that it's this is the first episode with the 10th Doctor, and boy, you really don't get a lot of him, do you?
No.
He's really only at the end. I mean, because you get the little bits and stuff of him, dealing with the lasting regenerative process, which, you mentioned how many of the Doctors, basically go through this sort of regeneration sickness, and you're right that the third Doctor took about, like, the first part of that story. The fourth Doctor was kind of up on his feet already.
Yeah. I mean, he just jumped up and came, went right into changing costumes. And,
and the second Doctor was like that, too.
Yeah.
The fifth Doctor, I do remember, had trouble.
Yeah.
In
Castrovalva.
Yeah, that's why they took him there, was to help him, recover. And then the sixth Doctor, he was like 8 different messes, and only, like, 3 of which were cleaned up by the end of that episode, so... and then the 7th Doctor
had a little bit of memory problem because the Ronnie was kind of manipulating him, but I mean didn't have a lot of physical problems like this one did. And of course we didn't see the regeneration into the 9th Doctor, so he had apparently been traveling for a while when he picked up Rose.
Right, and we did see with the 8th Doctor that it's like, because he also said it was the anesthesia when they were operating on the 7th Doctor, it kind of inhibited his regeneration for a while. Yeah. So it took him a bit. But yeah, it's that similar thing of, the time vortex energy just messed him up so hard that it took so long for his, for everything to reconnect. Although, nice cup of tea. It's really all he needed. He just needed a bit of that nice British tea, and he's good to go. So, it is also interesting,
we won't go into how tea got to be the drink of England because of their colonization efforts in Asia.
But if we do mention that, we will also mention taking it and chucking it into the sea.
Yes.
So,
the Americans are, our colonization efforts, especially among the Native Americans and the people south of the Red River.
Oh, there's that too. Yeah.
So we're just as guilty.
Yeah, that's true. We are nowhere innocent on that front either. But I remember I thought one time, it's like, when did coffee become such a big thing?
It started, oddly enough, in Arabia, if I recall correctly. Arabia and across the Red Sea in Ethiopia. And the story goes that a goat herder was taking his flock up into the mountains, and because they can graze there when it's too hot down in the lowlands, and he noticed that the goats who ate berries off of a certain tree or bush were very jumpy, and so either he tried it or something, and it was the caffeine in the coffee beans. And then somehow they began to dry the beans out and grind them up and put them in hot water. That traveled, again, I think it started in Ethiopia and traveled across the Red Sea to Arabia, which is why those beans are now known as the Arabica beans. From there, of course, Arabia was brought into the Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans began the first real cafes, which literally means coffee shop. And then during the Renaissance, as the Crusades came to an end and Europe began to reconnect with the Muslim world and the world beyond in India and China, that coffee made its way to Europe. And again, in most places, coffee becomes the drink of choice, but for Great Britain, it was tea. And then, again, tea became the drink of the early Americans. I don't know when coffee made its way to the United States. But we do know that Spanish and Portuguese explorers brought coffee plants to South America, which is now why one of the other very large groups of coffee beans comes from Colombia. So Arabica and Colombian coffee are usually considered to be the 2 biggest brands of it, if I recall correctly.
Well, yeah. It's just an interesting thing, like, at some point that just became... Because coffee is such a big drink, especially in America, too.
Yeah.
So, whereas with Britain, it's literally a trope that they drink tea. It's what they do. Yeah. So, I will put it out there, I'm not exactly a fan of either of them. I've tried having tea. I just don't like it. I don't like hot drinks mostly. But I've even tried like cold tea, and it's like it's not really.
Well, having grown up in a family from the South, I drink a lot of iced tea, and there are various brands. Currently, my favorite is Gold Peak, but I can't find that other than at certain restaurants. I do not drink coffee at all. I never cared for coffee. And as far as hot tea, your mother prefers, believe it or not, Earl Grey, hot, just like Captain Picard. My favorite is called Constant Comment, which is kind of I don't want to say it's a spicy tea, but it's got a little bit of orange flavor and some other mild spices that just, to me, especially if I'm congested, I love a cup of hot Constant Comment. Keeps the head cleared out.
Yeah, so. Anyhow.
You're learning way too much about us.
Yeah. And I guess with the Doctor in this episode, that also gives us Rose and her very defeated attitude, which on the one hand, because it's a problem because we've watched so much Doctor Who at this point that we're like, well, come on, you gotta give him time. He'll get back up. Don't you worry about it. On the other hand, after this incredibly traumatizing battle with the Daleks, where her best friend just exploded into a different guy and then collapsed. Yeah, it's a little. I understand like the despair that he's not getting up and the world is under threat. So,
and Mickey did ask her, "You love him, don't you?" And then she didn't answer that. And again, I don't think she is in love with him. I think she loves him very dearly as a friend. Now that may change in the next 5 seasons or 3 seasons, whatever. But she has grown to not be in love with him, but to love him as a friend, because he has given her a life that she never could have dreamed of.
Yeah, so.
But then she does say, I keep forgetting he's not human. He's an alien.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing when she says, I thought I knew him, and then he goes and does this, and it's like, well, I understand you spent so much time with him, but at the same time, it's like, his name is Doctor. Nothing else. It's just Doctor. It's like, that inherently is a mysterious person who hasn't told you everything. I mean, he's said that he's at least 900 years old. It's like, has he told you all 900 of those years? He obviously hasn't told you that this is his 9th life. So,
now, since you've seen, and this spoilers, if you haven't seen New Who yet, you can cut this out. But does he ever talk to any of his companions and say, this is my 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th regeneration? Does he say, this is the process that Time Lords go through? Now, some of them, like Leela, who went back to Gallifrey, didn't Leela go back to Gallifrey? Some of them kind of understood all of that, but does he ever take the people from Earth and just say, hey, listen, this is actually my 9th life, and I've only got 3 left?
Yes, that it does come up once that he is on a specific life, because they have established by now from the 4th Doctor and the 8th Doctor that a Time Lord only has so many regenerations, and what we're seeing now, as far as we know, is the 10th version. So at some point he's gonna have to realize, wait a minute, I only have so many lives. I'm getting pretty close. So he does sort of acknowledge it, but it's not very often. In fact, generally, I think even at this point, it's like we don't really. They haven't cemented. Yes, this is like he knows this is the 10th incarnation. Yeah. Like it's generally. I mean, it's not a thing of like he has said anything against that. But it's just like. At this certain point, it's really just what we say, as the fans, as the people outside the show. We say, well, this is the 10th incarnation of the Doctor. So, but yeah, other than that, I mean, there's the little stuff. There's the whole threat with the A positive blood types. There was another show I was watching. I can't remember what it was, but they brought up blood types, and I was like, I have absolutely no idea what blood type I am. Do you?
15 years ago, I could have told you that, because I had a major operation in 2009. But, it's one of those things. I can't donate blood because I'm on so many different prescription drugs for my heart condition. So, it's been since 2009 that I would have been regularly told, well, this is your blood type because we're giving you transfusions to keep you alive, sort of thing. So, yeah, I've completely forgotten. Yeah. I would assume I'm a blood type O. That's the most common.
Yeah. Well, I just thought, it's like, well, if you remember what blood type you are, there's a high chance that I'm that blood type too. So, but yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what show that was either. Like, that specified, there's like a whole plot point about blood types, but I can't remember. Yeah. And I'm going back through all the shows I've watched recently. Half of them were dumb, so I don't know if I can. I don't know if they would have brought up blood type. So, but yeah, but that was an interesting thing of the A positive blood types. I like how it is just dispelled so very easily that it's like, it's like hypnosis. You can't hypnotize a person to death. The survival instincts are too strong, so they won't jump off the. They won't walk off the building. So. And then just the general Christmas imagery in this episode is fun. Honestly, it is sort of a thing where it's like, you could completely write this episode just as the beginning of next season and not really have the Christmas stuff, and it's all still the same episode. It's just...
Other than to instill in a generation of British children a fear of Santa Clauses and Christmas trees.
Yeah.
What were they thinking?
The Christmas trees is one thing. I mean, it's weird that it's like, like, if I was just on the street and there was, a brass band of Santas with weird Santa Claus masks and stuff, I would have been like, that's weird. That looks weird,
Now, there are all kinds of, store displays and things like that where they use animatronics.
Well, yeah.
But when they started walking, people should have gone, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Well, yeah. So, and then, yeah, the Christmas tree, that's just hilarious. So, but yeah, I guess that's pretty much that. You got anything else?
I got nothing.
All right, the next time we will actually start season 2 of Modern Doctor Who, our first season with the 10th Doctor, and actually get a proper episode where he's there the whole time and we get to know him a bit. So,
and what is that called?
New Earth.
New Earth,
I think. Okay. I'm pretty sure. It's been a while, but still. So yeah, that is pretty much it. With all of that being said, we're Alex and Dad from 7th Hour Films, and we will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of our modern Doctor Who reactions, as well as another playlist for all of our classic Doctor Who reactions if you want to go check those out. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.